Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Life has a peculiar way of testing us, not when everything is going smooth, but when things fall apart. That's when life leans in and whispers, "What are you made of?" And let me tell you, if you've faced a setback, you're not alone. We've all had our plans shaken, our dreams delayed, and our confidence questioned. Setbacks are often seen as moments of defeat, times when life didn't go our way, plans fell apart, or dreams got delayed. But when viewed through the right lens, a setback can actually be a setup for something far greater. Life doesn't test us to break us, it tests us to prepare us. Every time you fall, stumble, or get knocked off course, there's a hidden opportunity. It's an invitation to grow, to reassess, and to come back wiser, sharper, and more focused than ever before. Think about the people you admire most. The leaders, the inventors, the artists, the entrepreneurs, they all have one thing in common. They faced serious setbacks, but those challenges didn't define them, their comebacks did. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about how you respond to it. A setback is not a signal to give up, it's a nudge to look deeper, adjust your sails, and find a better way forward. Sometimes the door that closes is protecting you from a path that wasn't meant to be yours. You see, when everything is going well, we rarely stop to evaluate. Comfort breeds complacency, but a setback shakes us. It forces us to pause, to reflect, to reconsider the habits, choices, and beliefs that brought us here. And that moment right there is where the comeback begins, not when you achieve the goal, but when you decide you're not staying down. That quiet decision to rise again, to try one more time, to learn instead of quit. That's the birthplace of every great comeback story. The power in a setback lies in what you choose to do next. You can let it define you, or you can't let it refine you, and that decision is entirely yours. If you take the setback personally, you may feel ashamed or defeated. But if you take it constructively, you can turn it into fuel. You can examine what went wrong, not with blame, but with curiosity. What did I miss? What can I do differently next time? How can this make me better? Most of the time, we grow the most in the darkest seasons. The roots deepen when storms roll in. You may not feel it in the moment, but if you keep showing up, if you keep moving forward, no matter how slowly, you're building something stronger than before. Setback isn't the end, it's a plot twist, and you are the author. You get to decide how this story continues. There's also a humbling power in failure. It reminds us that we're not invincible. It strips away ego and replaces it with empathy, with depth, and with real strength. And the moment you realize you can survive the fall, you become unstoppable. You stop fearing the next one, because you've already proven you can rise. The comeback doesn't happen overnight. It's built one step, one decision, one new habit at a time. And each of those small wins rebuilds your confidence. You don't need everything to be perfect to start again. You just need a reason, a purpose, a belief that you're not finished yet. And the beautiful truth is, you're not. So the next time life knocks you down, and it will, remember this: setbacks are not roadblocks, they're redirections. They aren't failures, they're feedback. And most importantly, they are not signs that you're done. They're signs that something better might be waiting. If you have the courage to rise, to regroup, and to keep going, your setback can be your setup. Not in spite of it, but because of it. Would you like expansions for other 3 points as well? Taking responsibility for your life and cultivating the right minds that are 2 of the most powerful tools you can use to overcome any setback. The moment you accept full responsibility for your circumstances, without blame, excuses, or denial, you step into a position of power. That's when transformation begins. Most people spend too much time pointing fingers at external forces, the economy, their boss, their childhood, the timing, or even bad luck. But none of those things can hold you down if you decide to rise. It's not about who's at fault, it's about who's in control. And when you take responsibility, you are. Responsibility doesn't mean you caused everything that happened to you. Life is unpredictable. People betray us, companies fold, plans go sideways. But even when something isn't your fault, how you respond to it always is. That response is your power. You may not choose the storm, but you can choose how you show up in the rain. When you adopt that mindset, life stops happening to you and starts happening through you. You become an active participant in your own comeback now. Responsibility alone isn't enough. It has to be paired with right mindset, a mindset built on growth, resilience, and vision. Your mindset shapes your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. If you believe that your best days are behind you, that you're stuck, that you've failed for good, then that will be your reality. But if you believe you can learn, adapt, and improve, you'll start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Mindset turns setbacks into springboards. The most successful people in any field have this in common. They've trained their minds to stay steady under pressure. They've learned to see problems as puzzles, not prison walls. That kind of thinking doesn't happen by accident. It's a discipline. Just like you train your body, you have to train your mind. You feed it with the right thoughts, the right voices, the right influences. You protect it from negativity. You challenge it when it gets lazy. And over time, it becomes your greatest ally. Here's the truth. A weak mindset will magnify your setbacks, but a strong one will minimize them. The same situation can break one person and build another. The difference isn't the event, it's the perspective. That's why personal development matters. It's not fluff, it's survival. Every book you read, every principle you practice, every uncomfortable step you take, that's mental weightlifting. And when the real challenges come, you'll be ready. People often wait until their circumstances change to feel better. But that's backward. You must change internally first. When your thoughts shift, your energy shifts. When your energy shifts, your actions follow. And when your actions change, your life transforms. It starts in the mind. Taking responsibility and building the right mindset isn't easy. It requires honesty. It requires you to face your own patterns, to admit when you've been playing small or making excuses. That kind of self-reflection can be uncomfortable, but it's where all the growth lies. And the more you do it, the more resilient you become. Life stops feeling like something you have to survive and starts feeling like something you get. Shape. Responsibility gives you the reins. Mindset gives you the map. Together, they turn even the hardest seasons of your life into stepping stones. They don't make the journey painless, but they make it purposeful. And in the end, purpose is what drives persistence. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your response. And once you realize that, no setback can truly hold you down, because you'll always know this truth. As long as you own your life and guard your thoughts, you hold the keys to your comeback when you're standing in the middle of a setback. Idea of making a full comeback can feel overwhelming. You look at the distance between where you are and where you want to be, and it can seem impossible to bridge that gap. That's when doubt creeps in. But here's the truth that many people overlook. You don't have to make one giant leap to change your life. You just have to start with one small step, and then another, because small, consistent actions, taken daily, intentionally, are what lead to massive, lasting change. Too many people get stuck waiting for the perfect moment. They want all the conditions to be right. They want motivation to hit like a lightning bolt, but motivation follows action, not the other way around. That's why it's crucial to start now, even if you're unsure, even if you don't feel ready. The smallest action in the right direction is still movement, and momentum loves movement. Once you take that first step, the next one becomes a little easier. The path begins to form beneath your feet. Success is not built in dramatic spurts of activity. It's built in quiet, often invisible habits. Waking up 10 minutes earlier to reflect or plan your day, saying no to distractions, replacing a negative thought with a positive affirmation, making that one call, writing that one page. Every small effort is like a brick being laid. You may not see the full structure at first, but keep laying bricks, and before long, you've built something strong and enduring. There's also power in narrowing your focus. Don't try to fix everything at once. Choose one area, just one. Maybe it's your morning routine. Maybe it's how you talk to yourself. Maybe it's your health. Start there, master that, then move to the next. People often overestimate what they can do in a day, but they vastly underestimate what they can do in a year if they just keep showing up. Consistency beats intensity every time. One of the reasons small actions are so powerful is that they build confidence. Each time you follow through, no matter how small the task, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted. You're rebuilding self-belief, one choice at a time, and that belief becomes the fuel for bigger risks, bigger goals, and ultimately, a bigger life. It's not the size of the step that matters, it's the direction. Are you moving toward who you want to become? Then you're on the right track. Small actions also help us overcome fear. When we imagine change as one enormous transformation, fear tends to paralyze us. But if we break it down into bite-sized pieces, fear has less control. You don't need to have the full comeback plan figured out. Just ask, what's one thing I can do today to move forward? And then do it. Let tomorrow's step be tomorrow's concern. Focus on the one that's in front of you, and let's not forget. Setbacks often leave us emotionally drained. In that state, we might not have the strength for big moves, and that's okay. Small actions give us permission to heal and grow at our own pace. They allow us to rebuild not just our circumstances, but our internal world. And that's what makes the comeback sustainable. You're not rushing, you're becoming. Slowly, steadily, and powerfully, every great achievement in history started as a small decision, a choice, a first step. And every great comeback begins the same way, not with applause or recognition, but with a quiet act of courage. Showing up, trying again, choosing progress over perfection. So if you're rebuilding from a setback, don't wait for a breakthrough moment. Make your own moment. Take one small action today, then do it again tomorrow, because little by little becomes a lot. And over time, those small actions won't just change your life. They'll define it. When you're trying to rise from a setback, two things will determine how far and how fast you move forward: your purpose and your people. Together, they are like wind beneath your wings. One gives you direction, the other gives you lift. Without a clear sense of purpose, you drift. Without the right people, you stall. But when you have both, when you know why you're pushing forward and you're surrounded by those who push with you, you become unstoppable. Purpose is what wakes you up in the morning when everything in you wants to stay in bed. It's the internal fire that says, I have more to do, more to give, more to become. When life knocks you down and you're lying flat, it's not logic or strategy that helps you rise. It's purpose, a reason that's bigger than your pain, a vision that's stronger than your excuses. Purpose reminds you that your story isn't finished, that this moment is just a chapter, not the conclusion. Everyone experiences setbacks, but not everyone has something worth getting back up for. When your goals are shallow, obstacles feel bigger, but when your goals are tied to your core, your values, your identity, your calling, then no amount of resistance can hold you for long. You may bend, but you won't break. Purpose gives your struggle meaning. It turns your fight into something noble, something worth enduring. And when you're aligned with that purpose, even small steps forward feel fulfilling. But purpose alone isn't enough. You need people, not just anyone. You need the right people, people who challenge you, believe in you, and won't let you stay stuck in self-pity. People who remind you of your strength when you forget. In times of setback, isolation is dangerous. That's when the lies get louder, the doubts creep in. But the right community silences those lies. They say, you're not alone. We've been there too, and we believe in your comeback. The truth is, you become like the people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by negativity, gossip, and apathy, you will begin to reflect that energy, even if you don't realize it. But if your circle is made up of growth-minded, positive, purpose-driven people, their habits start to rub off on you. You rise to their level. You start thinking bigger, working smarter, and believing deeper. That's the power of association. Sometimes, in the middle of a setback, your biggest breakthrough comes not from a new plan, but from a new person, a mentor who's walked the road you're on, a friend who sees what you're capable of, a partner who shares your vision. Don't underestimate the influence of even one encouraging voice. It can turn your entire mindset around, and don't be afraid to seek out those voices. Ask for help. Share your journey. Because there's strength in vulnerability, and often, connection begins when we admit we don't have it all figured out. And while you seek those people, make sure you're becoming that kind of person too. Be someone else's support, someone else's encouragement, someone else's reminder that comebacks are possible. When you lift others, you lift yourself. When you help someone else find purpose or stay the course, your own purpose becomes even clearer. The combination of purpose and people doesn't just pull you out of a setback, it launches you into a new season of growth. You begin to live with intention, no longer moved by temporary emotions or setbacks, but anchored by something deeper. And when life hits again, and it will, you'll have what it takes to weather the storm. Not because everything gets easier, but because you're stronger, clearer, and more connected in the end. It's not willpower alone that carries you. It's a reason to keep going, and a tribe to walk beside you. With those two things, there is no fall you can't rise from, no setback you can't turn into a powerful comeback. In conclusion, remember that setbacks are not the end. They are the beginning of something greater. They are moments that test your resilience, challenge your direction, and offer the chance for you to evolve. With the right strategies in place, you can turn your setbacks into the greatest comebacks of your life by accepting responsibility for your actions, cultivating a mindset of growth, and taking small, intentional steps forward. You can rebuild and rise stronger than before. And with purpose to guide you and the right people by your side, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. So, when life knocks you down, and it will, don't see it as a failure. See it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to come back stronger than ever before. Your comeback isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Thank you.